You are listening to African Father in America podcast by Simon Javan Okello, live from Seattle, Washington, USA.
Greetings, beautiful people. My name is Simon Javan Okello. I am in Seattle, Washington, and I'm excited to be here with you for another amazing episode of the African Father in America podcast. And I have a special guest here with me that is going to join us on our screens in just a second here. I want to introduce Mo Love. Mo, go ahead and say hello to our viewers and our listeners.
Hello, people. Hello. Nice to meet you all. AFIA. Is this how you say it? AFIA?
Yeah, AFIA.
That is beautiful. I'll tell you a story about that too. But very great to meet your community. Hopefully becomes my community now. I'm here now, so I'm glad that you welcome me in your community. It's very beautiful, and I'm excited to see where this conversation heads.
Excellent. Yeah, no problem. This is really part of your community, and I want to begin the show by sharing today's African proverb. I'm just going to add it to the screen in a second here. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I just want you to take a minute and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. That goes a long way. Our proverb today says that put a rope around your neck and many will be happy to drag you along. Put a rope around your neck and many would be happy to drag you along. I want you to think about what this means for you if you're watching this on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, X, and also if you're listening on AMP, let me know what this means to you in the comments. And I want to bring, just my guest and myself here for a moment. I'm going to share the 3 nuggets of wisdom related to this proverb. Forgive me, I just came from a short run and I'm still, sweating from that run, but I feel really good. Part of why I do this show early morning is it's how I begin my day. I have a question for you, Mo. Do you have the show on a different gadget?
No, I don't. I do have my camera on my other phone running though.
Yeah, so maybe the because I hear feedback, in the background.
You can hear the background echo. I don't know if that's maybe that's because I don't know. That might be because you're on speaker. Do you want me to try my headphones instead?
Yes, that would be excellent.
Yeah, because I think the echo is coming from the speakers.
Yes, headphone is excellent. Great. So while Mo is doing that, I just want you to know that today's proverb is from Egypt, and I'm going to share it on the screen there. Put a rope around your neck, and many will be happy to drag you along. This proverb is really beautiful, and it says that if you make yourself vulnerable, people will take advantage of you. Simple and clear. If you make yourself vulnerable, people will take advantage of you. So these are the 3 nuggets of wisdom related to today's proverb. Number 1, don't make yourself vulnerable to those who would take advantage of you. Be careful who you trust and don't give people more power over you. Mo, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, it sounds much better. But there is still an echo, so I believe
There's still some.
the other gadget is still on, so just turn it off.
I turned that one off actually, so it's not doing anything. I can try to. I'm sorry about the wait, but I could try to see if I can.
Yeah, take your time. Let's fix it so that we should not have that echo or feedback. Okay, so while Mo is
and come back in and see if that will fix the glitch.
That sounds good. Just make sure we don't have the show live on any other gadget that you have. Excellent. So we will continue on here for a moment, and again, I just came from a 2-mile run, and so That's why I'm sweaty, but I feel really good. I was talking about today's proverb, put a rope around your neck, and many will be happy to drag you along. So I will bring back my guest here. My guest is Mo Love, who is an incredible artist. Mo, can you say something? Is it clearer now?
Yeah. Yep. I can hear you very well.
Yes. So I'm happy that we were able to fix that earlier before we let it, linger on for too long, so that, these conversations, our children will watch them one day,
Yeah.
And
We
so
want to make sure we have good history, history
exactly,
keeping,
exactly.
I guess.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I see that quite a few people have joined us already on YouTube. I just want you to take a minute and subscribe to the
Yeah.
channel, and also share your comments in regards to today's proverb down below. Our proverb today is from Egypt, and more for the sake of that, for the sake of the glitch, and for the sake of those who are just joining us, I'm just going to share this here real quick. Put a rope around your neck, and many will be happy to drag you along. More, I want you to think about what this means for you. But I was saying that what this proverb means is that don't make yourself vulnerable to those who will take advantage of you. We should be careful,
That's true.
about those that we trust with things that are important to us, because many people just want to have power over you so that they can
Yes, sir.
they can walk all
That's
over
true.
you. Number two, be mindful of your surroundings and who you associate with. Not everyone has your best interest at heart, so it's important to be aware of the potential risks. And then number
Yeah.
three, don't be afraid to stand up for yourself. If you are being taken advantage of, don't be afraid to speak up and set boundaries. That is really, really important, because especially here in America, us as immigrants, a lot of the time you are at a job that you're being oppressed. You're being treated like a slave, but you are also
Yes,
not
sir.
expected to speak up for yourself. So this proverb is telling us that it's okay to speak up for yourself. Now, I want to bring you on more. When we shared this proverb with you, what is it that came to your mind? Just speak to it and share with us what it means to you.
Actually, thank you so much, Mr. Kello. Once again, thank you to the community, the people that's joining us live. I assume that you do this show this early because of the time back home, the time difference. Is that
That is
why? I
true
think so,
too.
but I'll
That
come back
that
to it.
that is definitely true. Actually, the time
Yeah,
that we're doing the show is perfect for East Africa, for West Africa,
yeah,
for Europe, for Seattle.
yeah.
It's the perfect timing. So
I figured.
yes. And also,
Yeah,
I just love waking up with this African wisdom, because we wake up to face the world in a foreign land, where the rules are different, but we want to make our ancestors present in our lives daily. So these proverbs are literally words of our ancestors. And so this
makes
is the
sense.
third year of doing this show with these proverbs, and this thing sprang up out of the pandemic, so I'll let you continue. Speak about your own perspective on the
Yeah.
proverb.
Yeah, my perspective on the proverb, the first thing that came to mind was actually about, when everything is chaotic or when something goes wrong and then you have that one individual in the group that takes the blame for it, you know. And in an industry like music, I mean, like the show business, like if you your group and then you're the leader of the group and you take a blame for something, the whole world is going to drag you for it. And it's gonna be like, yeah, if you're willing to stand up for people, also what that comes with, right? Like you're willing to take on the leadership role, know what it comes with, because when things fall wrong, when things go wrong, you're the one that's gonna your neck is gonna be on the line. You're the one that everybody's eyes is on. You know, I feel like that kind of corresponds to heavy is the head that wears the crown. Where you can say, okay, if I'm going to be well, most people don't, great leaders most of the times they don't choose to be, I mean, you can choose to do it if you have a calling for it, but most people that actually were born for it, it's like, is that something they're always willing to put their life on the line for others. But then again, it's like most people comes back to it. Well, it comes back to what you said about people taking advantage of you. Like, people take advantage of people that are always willing to do the right thing, go the extra mile for people. And I feel like, yes, that's a pet peeve of being. I mean, trying to be somebody that can guide others, also trying to be somebody that can help others. Or if you were born with a good heart, somebody that loves helping people. I feel like that's a pet peeve. But then again, I'm like, okay, then what? Do we stop being ourselves? Do we refrain from being ourselves? I feel like it shouldn't be something to scare us. It should just be like a warning. Be like, just be aware. Take caution. Yeah, that's my take on it.
100%. Yeah, 100%. 100%. The thing is, on a day-to-day basis, we are faced with situations where we either choose to be vulnerable and open and transparent to somebody, about our situation, and how they react, how they choose to take it from there, will determine whether we do the same with the same person tomorrow, So this proverb is applicable to our daily lives, and I just love your perspective on it. And I just want to welcome everyone who is joining us for the show. Today's show is incredible. We are hosting More Love, who is an incredible artist, originally from Rwanda, living here in Seattle, Washington. We met a little over a month ago, and we just talked about today's proverb from Egypt. He shared with us his perspective. I shared the 3 nuggets of wisdom. And More Love is just about to share a story about his childhood that inspires who he is as an artist today. But before we go there, I just want to share with you guys 2 events that I'm currently promoting. Number one is the Taste of Madaraka Festival on September 17th at Langston Hughes Performing Arts Institute. I want you to make sure you join me for this show. This show has been going on since 2016. It's an intimate dinner with less than 100 people. And for every dinner, we have a different chef from a different part of Africa. And so go to Eventbrite and get your ticket to Taste of Madaraka Festival. The tickets are limited. And then at the end of September, I have another beautiful business forum that I am helping with producing. I love this Africa Day Business Forum because, number one, it has been going on for 23 years. That's not something small. Number two, it's being run by the African Chamber of Commerce of the Pacific Northwest that has brought African leaders to the Seattle area, people like Desmond Tutu, African ambassadors, African vice presidents, governors come to Seattle courtesy of the African Chamber of Commerce. So I want you to make sure you also go to Eventbrite and get your ticket for the Africa Day Business Forum. Now I want you to just take it away, share with us, when you think about, I don't know if you grew up in Rwanda, but just think about a period when you were maybe 8 to 12, and think about a story that when you look back, it reminds you of why you're moving the way you're moving today. Recently we met at Blast Festival. Then you reached out with a music project you are making. I listened to a number of your musical projects, and you're very, very talented, and you're very persistent on focusing on your music instead of the daily grind that majority of people here in America are doing 9 to 5, and it's okay, if that's the path that you've chosen. But I think the few, the minority entrepreneurs, the people who succeed in America, which is a capitalistic system, are people who choose to do what many people don't do, So speak to what is it that happened when you are young that continues to drive who you are, because you're also an independent business owner. You have your own business, So look back and then look to the current moment for us?
I think for me, it's always been who I've always been, right? Music has always been my go-to. I was born in Rwanda, but I was born in Kigali, but then I was raised in um, the rural area of Rwanda, a place called Tara. And So right now I feel like I think it's in the Nyagatare district, which is the East African province of Rwanda. So I grew up a herdsman, just a young man. A young kid from 2 years, year high, running around with cows, a lot of cows just in the forest by myself, soaking in the sun. And all that time I'm whistling, I'm blowing my whistle, I'm just loving music, I'm doing music. Um, and I think one thing that's always been in my mind when it comes to music, I think it's when I came back from living with my grandma, Mumutara, and then came back to Kigali, and I met my brothers, and one of my biggest brother, is like my biggest inspiration. He's one of the reason I do what I do today. His name is Isaac, um, but I love him to death, and I used to be writing left and right, just write little hooks, and he used to be very poetic, and he used to write like movie scripts and also rap songs. And I was very like, intrigued by it. So then one day he saw me writing, like I'm sitting here on the dinner table just writing stuff. He saw it, and I'm left-handed. He's like, "Keep writing, boy. You're gonna be like 50 Cent." I'm like, "What? No, I'm not gonna be no 50 Cent." But I didn't know what he was trying to build into me. So that has stuck with me, and it's not just that. God has put so many people in my life so many things in my life that always point me towards music. Um, like when I moved to Kigali, I used to live with my aunties where I went to their school. They have a school called Kigali Junior Academy. They do a very wonderful job. This woman has been able to build that school from scratch. Her name is Joyce, my auntie. She's very heroic. And I keep mentioning names because I want people to know like who I am. I need people to understand that I'm a regular human being. I come from humble beginnings. I'm still going, building myself, but you can come from anywhere and just be anything, turn yourself into anyone. But yeah, so my auntie Joyce Babazi, she built this school, and I went to that school too, primary. I still there, Chigali Junior Academy, and it's a very beautiful school. And she instilled in us like the culture of music. The first day of Mondays, something like this, we start with the traditional songs. I think you went to school too. We sing our national anthems. We also did so many other songs. We danced. She encouraged us to do like dance groups, come up with dance groups and stuff like that. And not even just that, on where we lived, right by the side in our neighborhood, there were my cousins. They had a dance group, and by the time it was coming out, like dance groups were very popular. I think it was around 2012 in Kigali, and they had a dance group called Bright Fantasy, and I hadn't seen like hip hop dance before, right? I was about 10, 11 years old because I had just come from the village, and I saw them do this b-boys and, doing the hand thing. I'm like, wow, that's so smooth. Next thing I'm on YouTube just Googling Michael Jackson and Chris Brown, left and right. And that was my life. I feel like after that, my grades just went not as bad. I used to come in top five, and now we went to like top 10, top 20, you know because I feel like I had found my gift. And then when I went to secondary school, you know, you know how they have like bullying and stuff. That's something that protected me because I didn't, dance, whatever. So I went to like the clubs. They have dance clubs, drama clubs. And the kids that were older than us, they used to protect us. If you had a gift, you had a talent, you had something, you're a new kid, they protect you from bullying. So there's all the kids, they had this dance group at school, and I came in, they loved me because I was dancing. So it's always been those memorable things that just keep me connected and grounded to music. It's like I don't know anything that I do well and say I'm not copying or just you know. And yes, with music, I can draw inspiration from other people, but I feel like it's very natural to me. So I feel like once you find that thing, that's the thing about when people tell me, oh, I don't know what my gift is. I'm like, just look for the connections, you know, look for the stories and memories. Like, there's always those, all the roads point to Rome, lead to Rome, and that's another way of putting that thing. Like, at the end of the day, it's gonna connect to that thing, and it might not just be one thing. Because I'm doing music right now. I have a clothing line, AFIA, which is what I'm wearing right here. You can go to AFIA.shop. That's the story I wanted to tell you about AFIA. So mine is AFEYA, which stands for Afro ethnicity. Aya Afro. So AF Afro. Aya is ethnicity in Yoruba. That's a Nigerian language. And I'm also starting a Go Digital marketing agency where I help brick and mortar businesses um, basically convert to online, not leaving their brick and mortar businesses, but establishing their online presence. And if they already have this online presence, where we come in is, increase their traffic, their flow of traffic, make sure that people, if they're doing good service and they're providing good products and they're not scamming people, you know, more people get access, get to know these good people that's out here doing good for their communities. I'm already working with some good people right now. One is Anime Nation, which is uh, an anime shop based in Westlake Mall, and they're very great people. If you have anything related to anime, you can always check it out. But yeah, I feel like those are the stories. I know I gave you more than one. Yeah, those are the stories. Those
Yeah,
are the
that's
stories that our childhood inspirations that are always bringing me back to music.
yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
You know, I want you to now take us to the present moment. Share with us some of the exciting projects that you're working on. I know you've been living in the diaspora for a while. I want you to imagine that you're back in your village and there is a little boy running around with cows and whistling, and they ask you, what are you most excited about that you're doing right now, musically? What would you tell them?
I'll tell them I love the fact that I'm doing it in the African way, because all my music now is Afrobeat. When I was starting off, it was almost everything, but I always wanted something um, that would always connect me to my roots, where I know whether it's being played anywhere, I'm representing, um, I'm being myself. There's so many of that going on. People don't understand. Well, I wouldn't say they don't understand because they're also going through their own struggles back home. But in countries where we are right now, it's like, yes, it's okay. We can be ourselves and we have the rights to, follow our dreams. But, you got to hustle for it. You got to do 10 times harder um, just to live the average life. You got to, if you're not working on your dreams, creating your own businesses, you're working three jobs. You're working on that degree while working two jobs so that you can improve your payment. So it's a real struggle, and yes, there are people here too that were born here that struggle too. Um, Especially Black people. A majority of Black people here suffer. So it's like at the end of the day, you just gotta figure out a way to always bring yourself back home, feel rooted. And I feel like just doing Afrobeat makes me feel rooted. Currently, I'm working on an EP. An EP is just a summation of a few tracks, like one or three tracks, simple, like a small version of an album. Um, which is something we talked and you say you can do a full album, once I get introduced to your band, and I'm excited for that. But yeah, so this EP is basically introducing myself as More Love. I at first when I came into music, my name was Blemo. That's why you see some of the music I send you says Blemo on it. But now my new name is Mo Love. I came for that, short for Moses and then Love, which is basically what I like to um, advocate for. I advocate for more love in the world. So at the end of the day, I just want people to just spread more love and understand that we have so much more in common than what divides us. That's basically it. What love it mends us, it brings us back together. It's the glue that holds us together. Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love that. Yeah, we need more love in the world today, and in our hearts as individuals, because there's a lot that we consume, online, in our environment, in the news that just limits how much love we even have for ourselves. So you literally have to fight to love yourself. You have to fight to love your neighbor, love your family. Too much pressure. Too much pressure. Yeah, so I think you more think about anything that you want to talk about that I have not asked you, because we are coming towards the end of our time together today. And I just want to thank everybody that joined us for the show today. I want to read a few comments here from some of our listeners and our viewers. And Brother Earth has been supporting the show for years now, actually. And he's saying here that Peace and Love Village. And then he continues to say that my uncle used to tell me, if you don't learn how to be useful to yourself, and with your time, others will surely use you up. I love that. Mo, what do you say about that?
That's well put. That's well put. If that that's basically saying, if you don't make a choice, if you don't stand for, you gotta stand for something. Stand for something or for anything. So it's like if you don't know where you belong in this world, people are gonna try to trash you and put you wherever they want, drag you along, wherever they want. So you gotta be informed, stay up to date, and read. Pick up those books. You know, um, read as much as you can, and reading is not just in form of picking up the books. You can listen to those books. You can read people's biographies. That's also something that's helped me be who I am today. From the beginning, from my auntie, living with my auntie, she had a whole collection of books, like Les Brown, Monroe. These are the people that I've read their stories, where they come from, like places of nothing, like literally nothing, and they've built themselves to be useful, So I feel like that's at the end of it, you gotta. We come here with a black canvas, and it's up to you how you're gonna paint that. It can be a beautiful picture. It can be whatever you feel is, what's worth it to you.
I love that. I love that. Thank you, Mo. Before we wrap up, again, Mo, think about your wrapping, your closing remarks. But I do want to let our viewers know again about the Taste of Madaraka Festival. I'm really excited about this. This is going to be happening every third Sunday of the month, beginning September 17th. So it's going to be going on between September and March of next year. All these dinner series will be happening at Langston Hughes Performing Arts Institute from 6 to 9 p.m. We'll have live music by One Vibe Band. I will be performing myself at some of these dinners, and we will have a lot of previous Madaraka Festival artists also joining us. I just want to thank all the sponsors for this dinner series, Langston Hughes for hosting, African Print Takeover, Seattle Arts Department, and so many people to thank here. RVC, One Vibe Africa, One Vibe Media, and Madaraka Festival. So get your tickets on Eventbrite so that you can join us. The tickets for this are limited, but the beauty of this is that it happens every third Sunday of the month. Now, I also want to talk about the Africa Day Business Forum. That is another event that you don't want to miss, and it's happening once a year. and it's coming up on September 30th. I would love for you to make sure you join me and a lot of business people and local companies, but also companies and government officials from Africa. This is going to be at the Motif Hotel in downtown Seattle. Africa Day Business Forum. This is the 23rd annual Africa Day Business Forum. So even if you're watching this from Africa, Europe, you should be able to come here so that you learn a lot about the business opportunities here in Seattle. Seattle is the center of coffee. Starbucks started here, Microsoft started here, Boeing started here, So make sure you check out that event through Eventbrite. And then finally, I want to bring up this proverb that grounded us on our conversation today. Put a rope around your neck and many will be happy to drag you along. Share your thoughts in regards to this proverb in the comments down below. And, I just want to thank my special guest, Mo Love, for taking the time so early in the morning. Let us know
My
your
pleasure.
closing remarks, my brother. What did
My pleasure. Thank
Yeah.
you so much again. It's very beautiful to be able to sit down here with you, Mr. Simon, and have this conversation this early in the morning. I actually got to get to work. That's what we mean when we say we got to work. But yeah, in all sense, thank you so much for the people that tuned in, or the people that's going to be able to view this out later. So thank you so much for your time, and also thank you for giving me the platform, and also being able to see a way that we can work together in the future. For the people that want to keep in touch with me, my social media handles on Instagram, it's more love as you see it on the screen. You're just gonna see a very pretty smile and head and just Ray-Bans on, and that's me. So More Love Lab should be LAB, More Love Lab, and then I feel like that's the only social media platform that I'm really active on. And then on YouTube, of course, it's just More Love. And then look out for my coming project. I'm hoping, no promises, but I'm really hoping that I can have it released. Um, my first song on the EP by this week. It's called Summer Love. I can't wait for you guys to hear that project. It's been really beautiful creating it. It was fun, and it's a fun song. And hopefully you can talk about it too. So yeah, thank you so much again, and looking forward to actually seeing you live, play live at that concert. And I'll be there, and let people show up, and let's keep supporting one another and loving one another.
Wonderful. Thank you. I listened to Summer Love, the song that you're talking about, and it's really, really beautiful, upbeat. So I can't wait to share it with more people once you release it. Thank you for making the time. Have a beautiful day. And also to all our viewers and listeners, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's one of the ways that you can support the African Father in America podcast, AFIAPodcast. That's one of the ways you can support. This is a 5-star rated podcast on Apple, and I want it to grow on YouTube and other platforms as well. It's one of the few places where you find these beautiful proverbs, these intimate conversations. And so the only thing we can do to make sure that it's sustainable is by, sharing it, subscribing, and leaving your comments there. So I deeply appreciate those who have already done that. I also thank my team, Stella, Martin, Steve, and everybody else who is making this show possible. Thank you so much. Okay, Mo Love, I'll see you soon. Take care. Peace.
God bless. Thank you.
African Father in America. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. African Father, tujikaze, jikaze. America. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. You are listening to African Father in America podcast by Simon Javan.